lot of folks know about the corn checkoff, but they may not know how it is applied. And it's applied by you and your colleagues on the Illinois Corn Marketing Board. And so you probably have some pretty good plans for beneficial use of that corn checkoff. What's on the agenda for this coming year?
You got a great question. We're in some challenging times right now in agriculture. So at the end of the day is Illinois corn growers find ways to grow a lot of corn. And we're the best in the country and the best in the world at doing that. There are some pluses and minuses about that. Pluses are we have the ability to produce a great crop. The downside is we build a big stockpile. At the end of the day is we can only consume so much here in the U.S. So finding places to take that crop, whether it's here in the U.S., in current markets such as ethanol, as well as livestock feed, but probably more importantly is going export. And there's a big world out there to feed. We have several trade agreements with many countries, Mexico, Canada, Japan, Southern Korea, but we're looking for more opportunities to grow with more partners to produce more ethanol for them as well as more feedstocks for their livestock.
You opened a lot of doors there.
I did.
Now, the last thing you mentioned was ethanol. What does the Illinois Corn Marketing Board have in mind to promote ethanol and make sure that we might be able to get E15 here rolled into the system?
Another great question. Ethanol right now is allowed in 8 states year-round. We need to expand that to all 50 states, and I know it's being considered at Congress and Senate at this time. National Corn as well as Illinois Corn is working hard to push it that direction. That's a first step, and I mean that will utilize more corn for sure. But as ethanol is used at a higher level, higher blends, we can actually push that at a higher level, and that's the areas we're working on. So we work with the ethanol companies, we work with the oils, as well as legislators to find ways to do just that.
Now, when you say you work with oil companies and others, what really do you do? Just go to them and have meetings with leadership and board members, or do you figure out some sort of promotion program or provide something else to them?
There's a lot of work with companies that actually supply great data, supply understanding on how to increase octane levels, increase or decrease fumigants.
Right. Emissions?
Emission, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. Emissions to improve health, and the lung association is a big piece of that. So working in a lot of different directions, whether it's working directly with the oil companies, whether the ethanol companies, or legislators or companies that are experts in ethanol as a whole and looking for ways to improve it going forward.
Tremendous amount of Illinois corn goes to Mexico, down into the feedlots in Mexico. And you don't want to lose that. I don't know that we're going to lose it, but is there a threat there that that the Corn Marketing Board is kind of fueling the opportunity to stay where we are or increase it?
Mexico is a huge market for us for GMO corn. And they had some legislation down there here a year or so ago that was really non-GMO corn. We worked through that using not only ourselves, National Corn Growers, U.S. Grain and Biofuels Association, all worked together along with legislators to work through that process. In the day is we want to continue to keep them as our number one corn customer and expand from there for sure.
Okay. Do you guys go down there and talk with the lawmakers and the corn buyers and things like that? Is that
we've had a couple of delegations down there, also with the governor of the state of Illinois, as well as also legislators from Washington D.C. So the answer is yes, and we have U.S. Grains and Biofuels has been a big help there. They have offices there and have contacts which allow us to get that opportunity to have those discussions.
Okay. Now, you mentioned something there with the U.S. Grains and Bioproducts Council. They work worldwide. Mm-hmm. You may not have the funds to really do much worldwide, but you can provide funds that would invest in their programs that really would help them, and I'm sure that a lot of other states would. And so when you put Illinois checkoff money along with Iowa checkoff money and that from Ohio and other states, that's what allows those national organizations to work internationally. So that's an important aspect of what you're doing.
That is exactly right. And in addition to that, FMD and MAP funding provided by the government, along with inflationary triggers to help keep that funding available, is a big piece. So it's working hand in hand to make sure that we're reaching out to those new customers, current and new customers.
Okay. Now, when you get into the making sure that Congress appropriates some FMD and MAP funds, Checkoff Board really can't do that.
That's correct. That's our Illinois corn growers that work with legislators. At the end of the day, we need a farm bill and get that locked down. And we were hearing a lot of mixed messages whether it's going to be a farm bill or a skinny farm bill. At this point, it looks minimal that we'll get something in 2025. Probably looking at 26 before something takes place going forward.
Will any of your initiatives be hurt by the lack of a farm bill?
So far, so good. That has not been an issue, and it's a great question. Again, we keep in touch with our legislators. We keep the push on and keep those high priority topics in front of them on an ongoing basis. And I would recommend any grower across the state of Illinois that has legislative contacts to reach out to them on an ongoing basis.
Okay. Now, as far as the state goes, are there? How do you work with state government, Illinois Department of Agriculture, to promote corn products here and within the boundaries of Illinois?
Illinois corn growers, they reach out to those our legislators at the state level and local level on a quite often basis, basically speaking the same messaging to make sure that's being pushed up and kept top priority.
What's as far as your top initiatives for 2026? What's at the top of the agenda that you would like to see achieved?
Farm bill is number one, hands down. Let's get that in place. That way we give growers a lot of stability, knowing what's coming, what opportunities are with the crop insurance program to keep folks in place. A estate tax, getting that firmed up to make sure that there's going to be a lot of growers, a lot of land that's going to change hands from generation to generation, and that's very important that those tax opportunities are available to not hurt new farmers coming in through the family. Again, the family farm is very important in Illinois. 98% of the state is family farms, and passing that down to the next generation is very important.
Okay. What have I not asked about that's important for you to tell Illinois farmers about the checkoff for corn?
And I think another thing that it touches my heart personally is the youth of America. They need to understand agriculture, whether it's an urban child that doesn't understand where food comes from or how it affects them on a day-to-day basis, or probably more importantly, and one that really is strong for me is the FFA. It's a great organization. It lets a lot of people understand agriculture at a whole new level and find opportunities that our agriculture offers in careers and a lifestyle.